Hey everybody, welcome to the ITK Soccer Show. It's the 6th of August and we're 1 week out, or 2 days out from the first week of the Premier League, so it means the annual prediction show. Second year in a row, Dan won the last one, but to up the ante, or uncle, not to be sexist, we're going to have many more predictions this year. Look, you're throwing paper around at the start, you should just stop it. Nick's being very bold in the corner there. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do... top 6, bottom 3, not in order. Premier League, goal ranking, assist, surprise package, first manager sacked. We'll do some domestic cup stuff as well. So all of that, and we'll start off with the news and transfer situations and whatnot. So first thing we'll talk about though is the Community Shield. Now I didn't watch this, and I was going to watch it as I'm a broadcast journalist, but I was told that there's no need to. Is that correct, John?
It was atrocious.
Was it a game?
It wasn't a game. No. It was a very unfit Chelsea team and an Arsenal team that were desperate to get a win for the first time over Chelsea in about 2 decades.
That's literally the best way of putting that, probably.
Yeah, there was a great...
Like Chelsea had more of the ball and Arsenal were more than happy.
I could not believe how bad Chelsea were and how much trouble I think they're in.
Just going back to the victory for Wenger, this is his first victory over Mourinho. Does it really count?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you have to give it to him eventually, it's not like a Champions League final, but
it's certainly not.
You got to give it to him.
Yeah, but there you go.
It's not like it was a weakened Chelsea team or anything like that.
That's true.
Like Costa was out.
Yeah.
Costa was out, and
we'll talk about the injury situation when we preview the games coming up on the weekend and on Monday.
But sorry, before I say anything, do you remember like years ago, Dan, you and me watched it? It was Liverpool United in Old Trafford. It was the Hodgson years.
Beautiful.
And Liverpool, I said, looked like KKK because they just had a bunch of bald white lads running around the pitch and you couldn't tell who was who. It was Morelos, Konchesky, Skirtle, Cole. Yeah, you just couldn't tell who was who. That's how I felt with the Chelsea forward line.
Wait, how was it the Hodgson era?
That was a Hodgson. That was 3-2 in Old Trafford with Berbatov hat-trick.
It was, yeah.
Sorry, are you talking about? You're not talking about the Community Shield after we won the
No.
Okay,
I'm talking about a match in Old Trafford.
Oh yeah.
But I was saying I felt the same way with the Chelsea forward line. It was they all had the same. Willian, Remy, and Cuadrado all had the exact same haircut.
They do. Although Cuadrado's Juan's
the
hair,
bloke we'll never see again.
his hair isn't as quite buoyant.
And there's a young lad called Ake as well. I think he's got mad hair too.
Yeah.
So there's like 4 of them.
You say mad?
Maybe that's Mourinho's new tactic.
Yeah.
But all that Remy did was literally get caught offside 5 times for the first half.
I'm seeing double for Krusty.
Did Falcao play?
He came on. He was terrible. There was one moment where he was put through, and I was like, Jesus, he didn't show that bit of pace, and he was ruled offside. And it turned out he was like 4 or 5 years offside.
Was not nearly his wrong? Koscielny just about stopped him as well.
I think the ball might have landed to him. I honestly don't remember anything remotely memorable from that match.
He's a little bit better than Remy, but it's not doing much really.
Well, not by last year's stats, my friend. So we'll see.
We're talking about the match, not last year.
Okay, fair enough, grand. Well, that was it. So Arsenal, no cups in 7 years. Three and 2.
Great goal, by the way.
Who was it? Chamberlain? Yeah.
Do you count the Charity Shield? Because like I saw an Arsenal fan on Twitter was like, check 3 games, 3 cups. Because they counted the Emirates and the Charity Shield.
Oh yeah,
how was he with 3 cups?
There must have been another
international.
like an Asia trophy that I think Liverpool.
Oh, they beat Everton on that, didn't they? 3-0 or something.
They got the most uninspiring treble in the history of football over the last month.
It probably has to be the quickest treble ever seen. It's a bit of 2 weeks, probably, isn't it?
Look, there's a lot of cups in these pre-seasons. Speaking of pre-season, over the last week, obviously everyone's been finishing up their tours and whatnot, but I don't think anything has stood out as much as that Christian Benteke goal. It was pretty incredible.
I like the commentator at the Spurs match yesterday.
What did he say?
Harry Kane was supposed to play, but United made a bid, so he pulled out of the squad.
Is this true?
It's commentator said it. He did pull out of the squad. Could be Ned, which is probably a good idea because Spurs are stuck in Germany at the minute.
I'm pretty sure that it's unofficial if they made a bid or not, but I think the idea of leaking to the media that they might have, considering they're kicking off the Premier League against Spurs this weekend is a fairly good head game to play.
I think it's him or Pedro. They definitely need one or the other.
Yeah, well, if Ashley Young is going, but he's not. He signed a new deal, did he?
I don't see why they would.
They gave him a lot of abuse.
Into the mic.
Like Van Gaal. I don't know, he did it with everyone, but he gave Raphael abuse. He's gone.
He was shite anyway.
He gave Van Persie, who's gone. Gave Falcao, gone.
Finished.
Gave Schweinsteiger a go, and he just signed. And he gave Ashley Young, who was their best player last season. So,
arguably. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk
Not that
about transfers that have gone through and some rumours that have popped up in the meantime. First off, the Di Maria move to PSG has gone through. It looks like a loss of, let me try and work it out here, so about 14 million
or so.
Yeah, so he's gone for 44.5. He was sold to them for 60.
That's kind of what he was worth last year.
He wanted to go to PSG originally, but financial fair play wouldn't let them sign him.
They bought David Luiz instead.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone knew that Di Maria was really for sale. I don't even think Real Madrid knew. I think they're really clamped down on financial fair play last year.
I think they were kind of like, he's one of those players who's like, oh, thanks, Engel, that's great, but, bye-bye.
Yeah, but he had a good World Cup and was like one of the best players in the Champions League final.
He was man of the match of that.
Yeah, exactly. So I honestly don't think that he was an Ozil level of, well, we don't need you anymore. I honestly think that they had bought James and they'd bought Cruz as well.
Cruz and that Isco come through again.
Exactly, and they had to make money somewhere.
And they probably saw Bale, Ronaldo, and Benzema as a three.
Plus, they also probably saw they weren't getting a better deal because I think even United offered 20 million more than PSG did.
And also, it was a panic buy.
A lot of people said that the reason it didn't work out well was climatizing to a new language and coming off the back of no rest due to how far Argentina got in the World Cup.
I don't think Van Gaal helped.
He cost Liverpool top 4.
Yeah. Well,
he got sent off against Arsenal, and Van Gaal never played him again. Van Gaal kept with a starting 11 that won all the games. So
that's a very roundabout way of looking at it. But my point is that maybe Madrid, Ancelotti, maybe he knew something that we didn't, and maybe they got rid of him at the absolute perfect time.
The Real Madrid manager has absolutely no say what goes on.
That's also true. Okay, Dzeko has moved from City to Roma.
I can't believe they let him go.
Yeah, so right now they only have 3 strikers, and that's if you take into consideration Sterling playing as a striker.
Do you mind me asking, John, why do you say that? Like, as in, you think he was good enough, or as in they've no options?
He was their second best striker. I rate him more than Boney, and there's no way Sterling's ready to lead a Man City team for the title.
He scored like 5 goals last year.
He's
not great.
I still think
before last year he had very
I
good
thought he was okay. I didn't think he was. He's above average. He's not
okay.
He's not great.
If they're not bringing anyone in, like who's like at the moment, we'll talk about it later. But Sterling's a replacement for Navas, if anything. Aguero will get injured, and then you're relying on Boney.
Look at it this way, Dan.
Well, Aguero wants to come back. I want to see what he can do.
City won the league when Dzeko was playing very regularly. City came very short of the league last year without him. I think that he was a very good player for that team, and added with the fact that they only have 2 recognised strikers, and the window's closing sooner rather than later, and they're not being linked to anybody.
It's a much better level than Liverpool last year, but Liverpool had 2 recognised strikers, or 3 if you count Balotelli or count Lambert, and then they had Daniel Sturridge. You look at it and you go, well, they still have Daniel Sturridge, and you look at City and you go, they still have Aguero. But those players will miss a good chunk of the season, depending on...
No, I agree. That's why I asked you that question. I think if they've no replacement for him, it's kind of a weird one to sell him, but...
There's no real replacements out there, I don't think. I'm actually kind of happy Liverpool got Benteke now, because I honestly could see at this stage United or City just making bids just to...
That's actually true. I'm
not saying they need him, I'm just saying those teams need strikers.
Maybe he just sees... Like, Boney didn't play much last year, and he can bring Negredo back from Valencia, and he can still use Sterling as an auxiliary false 9.
I don't think I've ever seen a player go out on loan that they bought for big money and then...
Well, he did well in his first year. He did okay in his first year.
Yeah, but he didn't play after January.
That's also true. He had a purple patch and then it all went to shit.
I don't know. Interesting anyway.
Let's see. Any other actual signings that went through? Saha's also gone to Roma on loan. They did great business this summer. But as good as any... I guess Inter and Juve did well as well.
Speaking of Juve, Pogba's gone to number 10.
Oh, really?
He's taken Tevez as 10, yeah.
Okay.
Kadir's come in for number 6.
That's interesting enough. Nothing else really over the last week that's gone through that's big as far as I can tell. So we have some rumours and stuff. James McCarthy signed a new contract, as did Colaccini for
Remember, he
Newcastle.
was favourite for the Newcastle job when Pardew left. He was favourite for like a week.
Well, that's because no one was taking it. And
And
it was
Carver got it, the best coach in England.
Yeah, no, but it was like an odd part of the season. It was like March, and it was February. Was it? When did he leave?
Yeah, there was.
No, it might have been.
January.
It might have been January because I know it was around an FA Cup game.
It was around
When he
probably
came.
mid to late January. I'd say.
Leroy Fur failed the medical.
And Abid Diaby passed one the week before.
Something about
And he's
these
out for 6 weeks,
QPR players, isn't it? Like, remember Remy last year with Liverpool. Speaking of Liverpool, no word on where Balotelli's going to go. So we could be left with Balotelli and Baroni still on the books next year, which would be hilarious.
Barini, you get rid of the other bad.
Barini
Italian
is there's negotiations, real negotiations with Fiorentina. Fiorentina, who've done incredibly well, beaten City and Barcelona in their pre-season warm-ups,
and Chelsea.
and Chelsea.
Beat Chelsea last night.
So it's just I don't know what's going on in Fiorentina, but
Who's managing them? Montella left. Who took over?
I don't know. Actually, I'd have to check that out.
Is it because they let poor Aquilani go?
Must have been.
Where is he now?
He's on a free.
He's just nanning about. Any other? Okay, you've got two here. The Pedro thing. I can only presume that this is actually going to happen
Well,
with United.
there is an agreement in place apparently with Man
Apparently.
United, but there's no bid. I don't think Barca don't want to sell him. I don't think.
They
I
definitely.
think,
don't.
I think they want to sell him.
I don't think so.
I don't think they. I think they would have gone Pedro go. I don't think
how
they're
are they going to do that?
Like he did play the other day in a friendly for them, or last night.
I don't know how much that means, but
Well, no, I'm just like he wouldn't be playing there. if they
Enrique.
didn't wanna risk him.
Enrique released a statement about it.
Oh no, I don't think. I don't think
And say he
Enrique
doesn't
wants
want
him.
him
I don't think
to
they.
go.
I don't think they do want him to go personally.
I think they do, but I think he'll be gone.
In a
I
slightly,
think he will, but I don't think they want him to go.
I think he'd add a lot to that United team. I don't know if that means somebody goes. Well,
I don't know. Well, I always get confused.
Janusai is going out on loan.
Yeah,
Some
I know
of it.
Januzaj is going, but in the same way that it's hard to tell with these Barcelona team how good certain players are.
Pedro's a good player.
No,
I
I,
think
know,
he's a good player.
I know he's a good player, but even look, he's obviously better than Bojan, but Bojan is good for Stoke.
Bojan was never good for.
Yeah, but
He was
Bojan
also-
never really when he was 17, 16 in the Barca B team, he was scoring 35 goals at the
Yeah,
Bs.
but I'll
and
always
when he
say
went to
this.
step up, he never did it.
Never.
Pedro has got
did.
some huge goals for Barcelona,
He also did well for Spain in the World Cup.
and he's never done wrong.
Oh, what World Cup?
He's very.
The one they won.
Really?
Yes.
Right.
Euro 2012, he did more.
Okay, well,
But like, he's a
player.
good player. I think he'd be a good sign.
And Van Gaal did hint at the idea of Pedro and Depay flanking Rooney
And
is
it's
what's
not
ideal.
also not bad if they sell Di Maria for twice the value and get him in.
No, not at all.
It's good business.
In a slightly more unlikely move from a big team in Spain, this Ilramende Liverpool link is just not going away.
I
Liverpool.
haven't heard it.
What?
I've like seen it glimpses.
Oh, it's
It's more that left back. From
I still
PSG.
think you'll have to get rid of someone for him. There's too many midfielders.
Too many players. I don't want
There's
anyone else.
far too many in there.
There's so many players.
Someone will have to go, and you'd probably look at Lucas probably personally because that's a direct replacement.
I can go on loan.
I don't think Ilramende is a DM, is he?
That's what he is.
Oh, very interesting. Oh, okay. I thought he was.
Yeah,
Saint-Germain
Rafa
for
has
whatever
pretty
reason.
much said as well. He can go.
Well,
But
see, this is conflicting.
Arsenal wanted
Within
him
1
for-
week, it's come out that Rafa says he wants him, and then
When
Rafa says
he
can
was
go
at
away.
Real
Like who's
Sociedad,
reporting these stories?
when he was at Real Sociedad, I do think Arsenal wanted him, but he chose to offer like 35 million to Madrid,
Mm.
and that was it. That was last
Well,
summer.
apparently the PSG left
2
back,
years ago, sorry.
the PSG left back Digne or
Yeah.
whatever. Like he's talking to like Stoke and Newcastle, but his agent put out Liverpool just to get like
Yeah, I don't see
just
that going through.
get the Spurs or whoever else that'll like steal the deals. Like
Yeah,
Liverpool aren't going.
If
for
you look at
Liverpool.
Liverpool's left back situation, Moreno is there. Gomez has just been brought
Yeah,
in.
he's been-
Enrique is still on the books, and Flanagan has just returned to
What
training.
is Enrique still doing there?
no one wants him, and he's like
Still wants his contract.
He's not on a lot of money, but he like you have to think, it's the best club he's going to play for. So
It's true.
Why would
Yeah,
he
but-
leave?
He's also
No,
really,
that's like
really
why-
fondly liked.
Yeah,
And this seems to be a thing with
Like
Liverpool.
a joker in the dressing room.
Like Colo Touré and the year extension.
they're having a great lad.
The Liverpool team is so fucking bloated. You actually, Dan, you should sit down and just look at the squad as the way it is.
Oh no, I have, yeah.
It's ridiculous. Mvila going to Sunderland on loan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good boy.
Oh, you wrote this down?
Yeah.
Okay, I have it in front of me here on something else.
He's actually good.
Yeah, I know,
he's a
he's-
midfielder, isn't
Yeah, he's a bit of a nut job, but he's a good
He was
player.
like highly lauded years ago.
Yeah,
Him and
he
French.
was
Him and
French in
Carroll.
like 2010, 11. He was seen as the new thing, like in
Well
France.
before Matuidi or Pogba. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Matuidi would probably be older than him, but Matuidi, I guess, it was just with his PSG run of last
Yeah,
year.
he was. Where did he go? He went to. I know He's come from Rubin Kazan, but I think he was at a big club, and he was supposed to go to the Premier League. He was supposed to go to, I think Spurs wanted him, and then he just went to some like Fenerbahce or something like that instead. And I think he's just nut job. Interesting if he can mix with Sunderland, but there could be getting Yanya's as well. That should be kind of funny.
No, Sunderland have done a fine business.
Like Yanavia could be a difference for them staying up or something, you know. If he plays well.
Any other transfer rumours? Anything else that...
There's rumours that Spurs are going to sign Berahino or Austin.
They need to sign one.
I think Berahino is a perfect player for Spurs.
Let's preface this first by saying that they have had failed bids for Soldado. No one's going to meet their ask price. And also, Adebayor pulled out of the Villa deal. Yeah. So
that's probably over money.
But the point is, they still are going to be stuck with those two.
And they're on huge wages. It's like they must be on about 200 grand between them.
I'd say they're the highest earners there. When you look at everybody else who's there,
Lamella. Lamella and Lloris.
Lamella was bought as a young.
Yeah, he was bought for 30 million. He was going to have inflated wages with that.
He was bought for a lot, but I don't think that they put that much. Anyway, he's a record signing, by the way.
Yeah,
Lamella. It's kind of weird because when people would criticize something like the Di Maria situation or whatever, or Andy Carroll or whatever, you look at Lamella and
Spurs are kind of just hiding under the radar, aren't they? They're getting away with it
because no one cares about Spurs.
But it's an incredible perception, isn't it? Like only once in the last 6 campaigns have Liverpool finished ahead of Spurs.
Yeah, but do
you know what I mean? It's just that it's incredible.
They're a bigger club though. They will be like
in theory. Okay,
also up for sale. If anyone's listening.
What?
Liverpool are up for sale.
Fenway selling?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they gave an interview and they're like talking about selling rights for the stadium and stuff, and just saying they will sell for everything. So like they can't rename the stadium, but like
so they want to pretty much build the club and sell it as a massive
yeah. Because what they did was they've updated one stand to have more seats, but that's corporate, and they'd also want to do the Anfield Road end.
The Anfield Road end's already started construction.
That's the one we were in, isn't it?
Yes, you were.
Oh, I was in, yeah.
That's already started construction.
No, they have planning permission, but they're not doing the...
I'm pretty sure there's pictures of it already being built.
No, that's the other side.
The other side's the Cop.
No, it's the... I'm trying to figure out which... They've done one, basically. That's done.
The side of the dugout or the other side? We've literally gone 4 parts of the stadium there. So
side of the dugout, I think.
That's all schematics. But they want to build up the stadium and then sell the whole thing.
No, but it looks like they're backing away from the Anfield Road end because the corporate will bring in another like couple of million for the club, but doing the Anfield Road end would be for fans, and that wouldn't really bring in all that much more money.
Well, you do need to update the stadium.
Yeah, and I think a lot of their ideas was around financial fair play, and since Platini's leaving UEFA to FIFA because that's failing miserably because clubs like Real Madrid and Barcelona and PSG and United said we're not doing this, so he's backing out of that before that falls on his arse. And
FFP has been
virtually
scrapped.
Exactly. So
I don't know how QPR have got away with that, by the way.
They have though.
It's crazy. It's
okay. Well, they haven't really. The story behind that was massively exaggerated. That if they got relegated, they'd be dropped 5 divisions if they didn't pay the fine.
Yeah, but
and the fine wasn't that much money.
Well, it was like 40 million.
Yeah, but to them, to most football teams,
that's pretty big if you get relegated 2 and 3 years and have major wages and transfers and paying off managers.
The only thing they're getting in is all these add-on fees from people they've sold over the last few years.
Like how much they get for Sterling? What, 5 million?
10?
No, it's way closer to 5. Way closer.
Well, like I'm just saying, like Leeds sold.
So I
thought it was 4.
Like Leeds got 2 things. We got like 100 grand for Delph because the stupid selling was over 8 million, and we got 400 grand for Max Gradle, who went to Bournemouth this week.
All right.
So
okay, before we move on from transfers, just let me clear my throat. Crazy transfer of the week. Did you hear this today? This is even worse than the crazy transfer of the summer I gave to Royce to Liverpool. Cruise to Liverpool all over the English papers.
I saw that, yeah.
Who said that?
It's just let's just leave it there.
Rafa doing us a solid there.
after signing for Madrid like 1 year ago. Okay.
Pepe Reina went to Napoli.
Back to Napoli.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that last week.
I wasn't sure.
He went back. He was only on loan to Bayern.
That's right. He had a great season.
He went on loan to sit on the bench against Neuer. Didn't he get sent off in his debut after 2 minutes as well?
Reina?
I think he did.
I don't remember that. Okay, World Rankings came out. The big news is Wales going up even more. They're up 9th. So let me give you the top 10.
Ahead of Spain.
Yeah, exactly. Argentina in first because of reaching their last two finals in their respective competitions. Belgium second, which is incredible. Germany
Depends who you beat.
Germany third. Well, it depends where you compete as well.
Belgium did-
Anyway, I'll just go through and you can talk after. Germany third, Colombia fourth, Brazil fifth. Yeah, I don't know. Portugal sixth. Here's the big one for me, lads. Seventh. Do you want to take a guess?
It's Romania, isn't it?
Romania.
Yeah.
Yeah, great lads.
Great bunch of lads.
Who's their best player?
Mutu.
He's not still there, is he?
No.
Who is their best player?
Chivu.
He must be gone as well now. Like.
England, Wales at
Petrescu.
9th. Chile, Spain 11th. Netherlands 12th. Italy all the way down. Austria and Slovakia and Croatia. Well, Croatia I can understand.
They let us get
Austria
Wales.
in the top 20.
Austria and Slovakia are ahead of Italy, who are in 16th. Switzerland 17th.
Where are the States?
Not here. Switzerland 17th. Uruguay 18th. Like Austria over
Where
Uruguay.
are England?
It's 8.
I said England
It's
were
because
8th.
Italy don't give a crap about their friendlies, and they lose or draw them a lot. And also, they had a very embarrassing World Cup where they got beaten. And also, Germany probably
Well, they did win a game at that.
Germany aren't first because they probably drew to Ireland, who are like 147th or something.
Last
That's
the
pretty
They lost to
19th
Poland.
19th
They lost to Poland.
a head scratcher here. Algeria
Really?
at 19th,
But see,
and
the-
Because they weren't beaten. They just,
Yeah, but like they're playing the African coefficient, so
And then
you're gonna get
20th is-
stupid teams up there.
yeah, well, like they didn't win it, and no other African teams are here. And 20th, Czech Republic.
Algeria actually won a game in the World Cup.
And didn't they almost,
Well,
didn't Germany like
They
beat them in
nearly,
extra
they
time or
nearly,
something?
they nearly beat Germany as well. It was Neuer was saving the day from them. Like, it's a
I don't think
keeper
it.
scooper.
In all fairness, Dan, I don't think it goes on nearlies. But
No,
anyway,
but they're
after reading this list, my question to the two of you is: should we pay attention to a list like
Well, because of it, we have Wales in our World Cup qualifying group. So all hail the world rankings, I say.
all hail Sepp Blatter.
this? Interesting. Speaking of the groups, do you want to fish it out there? I'm sure you have it. We have it there from last week. Didn't properly talk about it.
I have it here.
You have it there, Dan. If you've another one, pass it over here. So what's interesting in it? The Irish group. What group are we? So
D.
these are the European groups.
D.
Group D. Wales, Austria, Serbia, Republic. Okay, because of Austria and Wales's seeding.
It looks easier than it is, I think.
Do you think so?
I think Austria and Serbia are tough matches, and I think Wales will get the crowd up going. But
Okay. Spain, Italy in the same group. That's Group G.
Group A looks like
Group
like,
A is a tough one.
Ooh, yeah. Group A is Netherlands, France, Sweden, Bulgaria, Belarus, and Luxembourg. Group H, Belgium, if that's sewn up. It's Belgium, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Greece, Estonia, and Cyprus.
But I think only one would go through in that because it's a 5 group, isn't it?
Is that how it works?
Something like that.
I'm pretty sure it's
So
two from
maybe
each.
two go through, one goes through, one playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And then the lowest one from the...
I don't think you can deny that Belgium have it sewn up either way.
Oh yeah, but like the other teams are shite.
Okay, England, how's their draw?
Piss.
Slovakia, Scotland, Slovenia, Lithuania, and Malta.
Piss
The
poor.
England-Scotland game would be great.
I'd fancy Scotland to beat them in one of the games.
Really?
Yeah,
It seems like
Regard-
Hodge
reg-
is still in charge.
regarding our group though, like we probably got arguably the best top seed, but we got the worst lowest seed, Georgia. Like we could have got a San Marino or a Liechtenstein. Georgia are tough. We got them in the group at the moment. We only beat them 2-1, but the last minute goal by McGeady.
Cracker.
We've got Serbia, who will probably, I think, top the group. And then we've got Austria, who we didn't beat last time. So it's not actually as easy. It could be worse, but, you know, Serbia are the worst team to get in the third one. Like, if you look at some of the other teams, like there was Hungary, Albania, even Greece, like Northern Ireland, like, you know, these Northern Ireland are higher than us, but you know, there's no great shakes. Like Serbia are definitely a good team.
International football's pretty poor at the minute. Like, there's no one really.
You know, so it'd be interesting, but I still don't think we'll go through.
No.
Okay, let's move on to our predictions for the opening match day of Premier League, and then we'll do our season-long predictions. Okay, so I'll say the match, and you tell me the winner, and if you're feeling froggy, you can even give me a scoreline. Manchester United host Tottenham Hotspur.
3-0 United.
3-0.
Okay.
Spurs never beat them.
They beat
Bournemouth.
them like a season ago. They beat them twice at an Old Trafford in the last 3 seasons.
This is absolutely correct.
Oh yeah, those
games.
Those two games.
Those games I completely ignored at my point.
Yeah.
But no, this bit rare. But yeah,
Bournemouth hosting Aston Villa.
Bournemouth win.
2-1.
I don't have a scoreline for that.
Leicester Cambiasolis versus. It sounds like Roman Gladiator, doesn't it? Leicester Cambiasolis.
They got a replacement for him actually. A Chile lad.
They didn't.
It's no.
No,
I mean it doesn't.
It's
count.
not a replacement.
Well, they got Aranguez for Chile, who was very good in the Copa America, by the way.
Okay, Leicester versus Sunderland. Leicester hosting.
Draw.
I have a 0-0 draw because I have Quartes in my fantasy team.
I hate the way this skews the way we talk. Anyway,
does anyone see any sort of goals at all between Dick Advocat and Claudio Ranieri, who's in preseason matches has been playing 3 at the back, by the way?
Oh,
I think they did play 3 at the back a lot in the last years, though, Leicester.
Yeah, no, I'm just...
Everton play at home to Watford.
Watford win.
Ooh.
2-0 Everton.
Chelsea host, score some goals for Swansea.
If Chelsea play like they did in pre-season, they could get
1-0 Chelsea.
I don't think Chelsea are going to lose.
Yeah, I think
they don't lose at home.
Norwich at home against Crystal Palace.
That'd be a really good game.
I think Crystal Palace will have far too much for them.
Palace on the break, maybe.
Norwich at home.
2-2.
Norwich are at home.
I think Norwich. Teams that just come up, it's always madness when their first home game.
It will be absolutely madness.
Yeah. Go Desmond.
Arsenal versus West Ham at the Emirates.
3-0.
That's going to be an absolute slaughter.
Okie dokie.
I'd take 4 or 5.
Newcastle against Southampton up in Geordiesville.
2-0 Southampton.
2-1 Southampton.
Nice. Okay.
Wouldn't miss Newcastle with them losing.
I think we our only listeners are Spurs and Newcastle fans. I'm like, don't know where we're listening to this.
Liverpool return to the site of their death when they play Stoke away.
I just think it's so ironic. It's brilliant. I think Stoke will do this. I honestly do.
Oh, they will. Do you know what the worst thing is, John? Right, and I really mean, and this is just like our own little Liverpool bubble. So anybody who doesn't want to can skip forward a minute here. I honestly think that this is such a stupidly big game. And I think that with so many new additions to the team, if we start off with a win, it actually will mean more than almost any other team in the league. But this, because of what happened last time, and a loss again here.
Arguably, it's probably the hardest game you probably could have been given to open the season.
I agree.
After the 6-1.
It's quite similar to the year after Liverpool finished. Rafa's last season, where the season before we only lost 2 matches. And
he lost 2-3 the next.
Yeah, and like the only match we lost, other than like whatever it was to Spurs away, and our first match of the season was Spurs away. But
it's immediately the first game after. It's just
exactly.
I would like to see it's Stoke are bringing in all these Barcelona guys. I think
Stoke could be good this year.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're going to play football. If they play us in football, we might win. But if they try to kick the shit, so I think we're stronger. I have to say, like, we'll get into it, but I think Liverpool have just massively improved. So I'm thinking 1-1. Maybe.
Okay.
Think you'll get a result.
I'm hoping. I think.
I hope he gets spanked.
I know, but like Liverpool are going to go into it remembering last season. You know what I mean? Like,
but that could be the problem.
Well, a lot of the players will not have been a part of it.
It's an end of season match. Like, I know it was a ridiculous scoreline, but the whole thing was just
like Rodgers was like asked like literally after the game, "Are you going to resign after that result?"
Yeah,
it was that bad.
Yeah, I know it was.
Your friend Emery Chan, I've never seen defended like that in my life.
Well, he's not a defender.
He's not in anything.
We'll get into that later.
Okay,
guys.
West Brom and Man City. West Brom are at home.
West Brom win.
I think it'd be really close. I think West Brom get a draw.
Really? Okay, here we go. I think we've all been very excited about this for weeks and weeks and weeks.
I'm still due my night out, guys, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that. Okay, here we go.
Roll on to next year. I've got 2 nights out.
I thought, before we start,
I'm go on.
We're fine. You're fine. I did I thought we had to do it for last week's show. So I had a top 6 prediction of, and I'm just putting this out because it's completely changed. My top 6 prediction was Spurs, Everton, United, Arsenal, City, Chelsea. And
where's Liverpool? That's 5. And where's Liverpool?
I had Liverpool 7th. I said I had 6 teams.
Everton over Liverpool this year?
I had it, and then I changed my mind dramatically.
What happened in the last
They've no Europa League. They got Delafeu back. I was thinking I changed my
Okay,
mind.
all right. Well, let's see how this goes. Okay, I'll give the title, and we'll go John, Dan, me in that order. All right. So in order from 6 to 1, top 6 in the Premier League.
Spurs. We're
Okay.
saying sixth. We're
Yeah. do your list.
Liverpool, United,
Spurs. Liverpool. Yeah.
Chelsea, City, Arsenal.
Whoa.
Wow. Daniel.
Ooh. 6 will be. I suppose Spurs will be 6th.
Did you not have this prepared?
No, I don't have. just making sure now because I don't want to make a mess of it again. 5 will be Liverpool, even though I think you'll be closer this year. 4th, I'm going Man City. 3rd, Man United. 2nd, Arsenal. 1st, Chelsea.
Okay. I have this written down here. So, my top 6 is Spurs.
It's 1 point for all of us.
Or 0.
City.
5th,
Liverpool. Arsenal. Chelsea. United.
Outrageous. This season just got interesting. We've all picked different champions.
I love it. I love it.
none of us have picked Man City.
So we've all have different winners.
Who's
Yeah.
Arsenal? Chelsea. United.
Now, I am going to say now, predicting this last year, I think I was nearly persuaded by, not by you guys, but I couldn't really pick between Man United and Liverpool last year. I thought the top 3 were much better than everyone else.
Yeah.
I think the top 5 have actually got better, and Liverpool, they're not going to win the league. But I think any of the 4 could win the league. But I think Liverpool are definitely closer to being in the top 4.
I think Liverpool.
Do you know what I mean? I thought last year you weren't going to do.
I think it's safe to say that Liverpool have improved signings wise than any other team.
Yeah,
Arsenal.
but Arsenal, even
They
with
didn't sign anybody.
Peter Cech is absolutely huge.
Okay, I know.
He's
I know.
absolutely huge.
But regardless, I don't think you can equate one player.
I've read stories like he's been drilling the Arsenal defenders in training, just like, no, that's not happening. This is happening, and he's getting them all.
Okay,
And
that's
somehow they've
like
made,
that is huge.
Somehow
That is
they've made
huge.
Koscielny into a decent centre back.
But he is a good defender.
Okay,
He wasn't for a long time.
Well, he was in the last 18 months.
Okay, let's
give
keep
you-
going.
give you
Let's keep going. Bottom 3, no particular order. John,
Sorry, I have this written down somewhere.
talk to the microphone, sweetheart.
I'm trying to figure it out. I haven't.
Daniel.
Oh, I actually have it. Sunderland, Villa, and Watford.
Villa. Okay.
They've sold everyone.
Okay. Sunderland.
Micah Richards is their captain.
Yeah, I just can't. That's what I was going to get onto. I just can't believe it. It's just.
What about a Bangla?
Yeah, I would have given it to him. Like, they've even lost Ron Vlaar. I didn't even know that. I looked up their squad today. I was like, where's Ron Vlaar?
He's gone on a free.
Yeah, he's not on a team.
I can just see Bournemouth and Norwich.
He'd walk into your team.
I know. I can't believe it. Like, it's just so
No,
simple.
he's not creating the ball, but he's better when you got defensive.
having a decent start.
Ransom,
And
except Psycho.
I think there was like 7 teams that could have got relegated last year. And
Yes.
Sherwood's still in charge at Villa, and I know you guys like him, and they've sold everyone that has any remote.
Yeah, well,
talent.
Delphin, Benteke.
Vlaar, Given.
Given.
They scored 115 goals in the last 3 seasons, and Benteke's got 42 of them.
Yay! All right, now, Daniel.
And they lost Vyman as well. No particular order. I think depends how long Ranieri is there. If he is there for more
Leicester
than
were
6
very
months,
close in
Leicester
joining
are
him.
gone. Stupid to sack Pearson. Watford will go. And it's very close between these 2, but I'm gonna go Norwich. But Villa are very. I was going through the squad today. It is really.
I think,
poor.
I know
it's
they
a
got
really poor
I
team.
know they got relegated, but Norwich have more Premier League experience than Watford. That's why I have them.
Me too.
And I also think that, from what I've read and heard, that the manager has got them all playing, and they're all having a great time.
I just can't believe it's Villa or Norwich really to go down that third one. It's just it's so close. I'm gonna go Villa. They're just fucking shite.
Sunderland sold there 4.
And I'd like to see Norwich stay up personally.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go Villa. Villa, Leicester, and Watford.
Okay. My bottom 3, Leicester, Watford, Bournemouth.
Bournemouth would have to stay up.
Except if they don't. Okay, moving on. Top scorer, John.
Last week I had Wayne Rooney,
Yeah, that was definitely on my mind.
and just because I think United are going to buy a striker, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to stick with him.
Okay.
I just think
That was my number 2.
Would it be an outrageous pick if I said Benzema? But
he's not sliding.
Aguero. Like if Aguero's on the pitch even for 3/4 of the year, he will outscore anyone in that league.
Yeah. Well, I think
that's what he did. He's done it the last 2 years.
Fair.
Well, he hasn't.
Suarez, but like
and Sturridge.
Okay, true. Listen, by the way, I
do agree with you.
They were my 2, by the way. But then I just
Rooney won't score 25 goals.
I had to hope for it.
I think if he's our only striker,
you're going Hugo, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm going Hugo Benteke.
You said Sturridge last year. He got like 3 goals.
I didn't know Sturridge was going to become a spectre, a poltergeist.
A Jonathan Spectre.
Right. Assists leader.
Only because I don't see them scoring a lot of goals, but I still can't look past Hazard.
Cesc got more than him last year.
Did he?
Aye.
Can I rethink this?
Sure. Back to you in a sec.
Well, if you talk about assists, the first man to do it is always Cesc.
Yeah. That was mine. I'm going to go on a wild card. I'm going to go Memphis Depay as assist leader.
I think Alexis could be pretty shit hot this year as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to pick Sanchez. Yeah, because Dan stole something off me last year, so I'm taking Sanchez.
Okay, so we've got...
What did I steal off you?
I told you to pick Leicester because you hadn't got a surprise package.
And what did I do? I picked him.
Won you 1 points in the end. So I'm taking Sanchez.
Okay, so...
Because I think Arsenal are going to score
Sanchez, Cesc, and I've got to pay. All right,
we've all had really different predictions.
Yeah,
here.
it's a lot more difficult this year.
I'm trying to be oddball, though. Okay, surprise package, John. Now, by the way, this basically means if they were in the top 10 last year, they could be relegated, or if they were almost relegated last year, they could be in the top 10. It just means it's a big contrast from what happened last year.
Well, if you got last year's league.
Well, we'll know.
We know. Well, I do. I'm ITK. Go on, John.
I don't know why I'm doing this. But I'm going to pick the same guys I picked last year. Newcastle.
For God's sake, McLaren,
they've spent 14 million on an attacking.
Vindelum is actually a good player, but I don't care. This is Remy Cabella and Sammy Amiobi.
Sammy Amiobi.
Johan Kebab.
Dan, who is your surprise?
Speaking of Johan Kebab, I've got 3 teams. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, sorry.
Just pick one.
He was going to be mine.
Come on, we've had weeks to do this.
Kebab is injured, by the way.
Is he? First of all, I'm going to say Southampton aren't going to do as well as they did last year.
Yeah.
They could fight out the top 10.
Might win a trophy.
You see, I don't know. You see, like, what's a surprise? Like Stoke finished like 8th last year.
Anything that we talk about a lot.
But like, I can see them finishing 8th again. Is that a surprise?
No. A surprise is a drastic difference, whether it's good or bad.
Okay, well, and Palace had such a good end. Like they finished like 11th last year. Like I can see them maybe winning a cup.
Okay,
I'll go West Brom.
Okay. All right.
With Tony Pulis,
Ricky Lambert up front.
Yeah. They have a good team. If they can hold on Berahino, they have a very good
I think we said Crystal Palace last year because Tony Pulis was in charge.
My surprise package this year is Aston Villa. I believe that Villa...
Now, they were almost relegated last year, so them getting relegated isn't a shock.
No,
right,
I think that they will
top 10
crack the top 10.
With what?
John,
go through their squad. I want you to get up their squad on Wikipedia. It's absolute. It's one of the worst teams I've ever seen.
Look, listen.
Can you get minus points?
Their 3 best players in the last few years were the strikers: Vyman, Agbonlahor, Benteke.
If you can't tell, I'm trying.
And Delph is gone. Given gone.
Okay, given when he played the Cups, and look how well they did in the Cups.
FA Cup final.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Speaking of which, FA Cup winner.
You didn't give you a reason why Villa.
Sherwood will have imposed his will for a longer period of time. Okay, John, FA Cup.
Man United.
Okay, Daniel.
Actually, can I change that?
Oh my God, people.
Chelsea. I'm going to pick Chelsea.
Okay, all right.
I am going to go City because I think they need a cup and they're going to concentrate. If they're buying the league, they're going to go for a cup and make sure they get one. So I'm going to go City.
Don't get your mentality there. If they're buying the league, they're going to get a cup?
No, if they're behind in the league.
Oh, excuse me.
Which I think they might be. I think they're going to go. Pellegrini's like, well, I might be out of a job. At least if I get a cup by the end of it, FA Cup.
Oh, I actually skipped something. Anyway, I'll go back to it. Southampton. I believe we're going to win the FA Cup this year.
Good shout.
First manager to get sacked back to the Premier League. I skipped that, sorry.
This is so easy. It's Bilic.
Yeah.
He's been sent off 3 times. Already. In the Europa League qualifiers.
They were so lucky.
They got in by...
The penalties, wasn't it?
No, it was the fair play.
No, but
rules or whatever it was.
They knew they're beaten by like a Malta team.
Yeah, I know. They could be out now for all I know, but
They're not. But
plus, I think West Ham have a good season because it's their last season in Uptown Funk or whatever.
You actually could be on some there. Well, they could actually struggle this year because if you look at West Ham, right, they started their season in early July.
Yeah,
they'll be shattered by February. Absolutely shattered.
I almost put West Ham in my relegation. Okay,
their team is good enough to stay up though.
Village. What are you saying?
I just think Ranieri or McLaren. I got Ranieri. I just thought it's a bizarre appointment.
Actually doesn't sack managers.
He sacked Pearson for a day, and he came back and then sacked him.
No, I meant actually in Newcastle.
Oh my God, actually, well, yeah, but McLaren is spoofer.
Pochettino. I believe that Spurs are going to have such a horrible time that they are going to be forced to bring somebody in quickly. And then, if going by my predictions, they will come sixth.
Good shout. I was talking to a Spurs fan. He's just saying that it's almost why
the business they've done.
Why I moved them 50. Yeah, it's like a transition because they're just selling all of AVB's.
They're still better than a lot of the clubs though around them.
Not next year, no, even next year.
Who have they lost?
Or next week.
They haven't lost anyone, but
if
they're
Harry Kane stays, even though I think he's overrated, but if they got 40 million for him.
Is he overrated? He can score any kind of goal, and he scores loads of them. And in pre-season, he's still scoring loads.
Yeah, if he was Spanish, Dan would be like.
He's fucking.
No, he's
just because he's
good. He's good. He's not worth 40, 50 million. And people are saying he is.
Okay, again, that's going back to the argument of the whatever.
Yeah, look, I
can honestly see he could.
It's not world class, but
look at the players he has playing behind him, right? At a big club, like Costa gets injured, right? You tell me Harry Kane couldn't do a job there. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying he's a bad player.
Harry Kane could be an asset to any team in England, in my opinion. Okay,
don't need him at Liverpool though.
No, because we've got 7 strikers. League Cup,
Liverpool. Brendan Rodgers still be sacked.
I would go either Liverpool, but I'd probably go Chelsea.
Okay, very good. Now moving on to I said Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool.
Champions League. Winners of the Champions League?
PSG.
Okay.
Blanc's still there, isn't he? Mm-hmm. I'm going to say a team has to do it, and a team has to defend it, and I'm going to go Barca. Someone has to do it eventually.
Yeah, okay.
To be fair.
I'd be appalled.
I'm going to go for Bayern Munich.
Would you not be happy for Suarez?
No, it's like the streak ended. Just no team should win the Champions League twice in a row.
He was more upset about the streak ending than you. Also, you banned wrestling references on this podcast. You're just fucking flip-flopping.
I'm going mad, man.
Bayern.
I call West Ham Stadium Uptown Funk.
I love that, though. Yeah, I'm going to go with Bayern. I think Pep is finally going to click in with them. Can we talk about Pep really quickly? He said that
that'll be gone in January.
He says he doesn't just sign a contract. He's only 1 year left. That's exactly the same thing he did with Barcelona.
I understand this.
The year before, they won the Champions League. Sanders Hell pretty much gave him a blank check to him. Okay, how long do you want to stay? Oh, no, we'll talk about it again.
Yeah.
He was just constantly putting it off.
I think
it's the exact same sort of body language, behaviour.
I still think, right, he knows that he's going somewhere next year, okay? He can call a lot more shots if he's just coming off the back of winning the Champions League. That's undeniable.
Well, he wanted to leave Barca after they won it in 2011. But they were like, please just stay off 1 week because he had kind of a rolling thing.
It's nothing to do with what I'm saying.
But he's more than happy just to leave a club, just go.
But he had won the Champions League with Barcelona. He had won the Champions League. Yes, this is so he's not coming off a tainted run in a sense. Now, also he said that the reason that he was so happy to let Schweinsteiger go is because he has not been fit in 3 years. Not one time has he actually been fit in 3 years.
That's why I don't think he's that good of a signing. That's why you're
pretty believable.
Well, no, he's a great signing if he's fit.
Yeah, but
that's the problem. Not, if he's going to be fit,
he's already had fitness issues in pre-season.
I think he won't. I don't think he's in match squad on Sunday.
If Chelsea spent 30 million on Daniel Sturridge, you turn around going, it's a lot of money for someone who's never fit, and he's like Daniel Sturridge is like 7 years younger than
Schweinsteiger. I do agree. I just think if even if they get 2 years out of Schweinsteiger, good fitness, it's worth it.
He'll probably get that if Schweinsteiger plays for 8 years and you add all the time together.
All right, guys. Champions League top scorer.
Messi.
I think Ronaldo.
Luis Suarez. And assist leader,
Luis Suarez.
Messi.
Di Maria.
We're going mad.
We really are. Very, very
terrible.
Okay, excellent. All right, so that's our preview of and predictions for the Premier League, and then our little Champions League stuff in there. Championship preview, Dan. What is this about?
Well, it's the same thing. We're not going to go through as much things, like, but, you know.
Middlesbrough should get it.
But, like, who's going to win it? Like, we did this last year. Like, who's going to win it?
I'd be surprised if it wasn't Middlesbrough.
Well, Middlesbrough have bought Stuart Downing for, like, 7 million, 6 million.
Or QPR, because
But-
they haven't really let anyone decent go.
Austin will go. Leroy Fer will probably go. Matty Phillips will probably go. Like, they're too good not to.
But haven't they bought, like, a lot of young players as well?
One or two, but it's Middlesbrough also want to buy Jordan Rhodes for 15 million. It's like,
Yeah, no, but
That's-
they got Downing for free, didn't they?
no, they paid like 5-6 million.
Yeah, but still, he's...
It's not free.
Far
For a
too good
championship
for them.
club, it's a lot of money. And like,
Well, there's
they
a lot of money
probably-
for the championship.
They probably will get Jordan
But, like,
Rhodes.
who took over Derby?
Paul Clement, he was assistant manager behind Ancelotti.
Well, maybe you could... Yeah, I don't know. I like Steve Clark, so I think Reading might get in the playoffs. If we're
Reading-
picking a surprise. He does matter.
I think Bristol City would be good. I actually picked Bournemouth to go up last year. I don't know how I got that. So Bristol City, Wolves would be very good.
Go
I
on, Dan,
think
get to it. What are Leeds going to do?
Leeds will be, I think the first time I can say we'll be in top 10 for a long time. We've a very good starting 11. Our squad is kind of a bit bare.
Signed Bamba full time.
Yeah, Chris Wood. We bought a guy called...
Big shit for them, I tell you.
Did he get over his mother being shot in the woods? It's a Bambi reference.
This is like...
I was like, oh no, because
Poor big soul.
a lot of these African footballers have these tragedies, and I was like, what have I not heard about here?
Yeah, no, well, no, I think we'll be... I think we won't make the playoffs, but if Chileno just behaves and doesn't sack the manager, I think we'll be alright.
Do you want to talk about who might get relegated?
Huddersfield, MK Dons, and Bolton.
All
I don't know,
right.
there's
I know we're past that sort of thing, but does anyone think that Mourinho might leave this year?
during season, or
Yeah.
like in 2007, he just got sacked in September.
Yeah,
I really don't. Where
No.
where would you get this from? Well, what-
because he's already doing a bit of complaining after the Charity Shield to hide how bad his team was, and
He's
then
also said it's a harder league to win this year.
yeah, he's already talking on how all the other teams are trying to buy the league. He hasn't bought anyone.
It is weird he hasn't bought one
And
addition to
the
the starting
the
lineup.
rumors is that because Chelsea have won the top youth and reserve competitions,
that there's going to be a youth movement
that-
rather
yeah,
than
like
yeah,
why
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
you brought anyone in? And he's I just think that it's interesting that
You
like
see some cracks forming.
yeah, and I don't think he's the sort of player. To
I
do.
can't disagree. I can't disagree.
You don't bet against Mourinho though, overcoming something.
No, I just think the way he plays is very hard to watch if you're as an owner.
I don't think. Well,
I'm
they
sure
wouldn't,
that-
they wouldn't have got him back.
I don't think the
And
money
I-
going into the bank account for winning the Premier League is hard to see for an owner either. Look, listen, and as well, this whole Mourinho, utilizing park the bus in every match. This only happened when their one and only good striker went down. Like, we have to remember that the first half of last year they played fine football.
Oh, yeah, they were the
And
best attacking team in the
football,
country.
absolutely, and football deserving of champions. Here's the thing: I don't think any of us would have called at the end of last season 3 months ago that we'd be coming in 2 days before the Premier League starts having this opinion of Chelsea. Like, things don't look great, So you could be right, John.
Is it a reason why he hasn't bought one player? Like, he's bought.
Well, John kind of mentioned
Stones will be. If you get him in, he won't get in the first team.
that's not looking like
Begovic is going to be. He's a reserve. Falcao won't be in the first team. Quadrado, I know he's there. But he won't.
Like you could see Falcao having like
Pedro, he
an Eto
probably
moment
wouldn't go
here or
if he did.
there, like scary enough to play against a big team sort of thing.
He
but-
did mention that in a perfect world, he'd actually like to adapt the team to having two up front with Costa and Falcao. He said that that's something he's looking
The
at.
only time he's ever really played 4-4-2 in my history, just looking at Mourinho, just top of my head, was he tried it with Drogba and Shevchenko.
That's right.
In 2006-7.
That's right.
And it was an absolute disaster.
I think he also tried it with Drogba and Kezman back in 2005 just to get a few goals. I don't think it lasted long.
I don't think they ever started them because those Duff and Robin in the wings with Drogba or Johnson up front. So, but I think there was, he only did like once and it was a disaster. So.
Anything else from the championship briefly? I think you did it all.
No, not really.
Okay. Is there awards this week? Obviously, there's a goal of the week there. I'll give it to Benteke.
Spoofer is Mourinho, so that will explain that whole chat from me.
That's fair.
Spoofer Messi for his behaviour last night.
Fair play, Dan. We actually were having a talk off mic, wondering if you were going to crucify the golden boy.
Yeah.
I'm hardly criticizing him. We shouldn't have done it. I don't know what was said to him though. I've never seen him act like that.
It's still fairly bad for a guy with his reputation.
Yeah, like if Ronaldo had done it, you'd never hear the end of it. It'd be.
Oh, good. Yeah, you're right.
No, but I think I don't know.
Ronaldo's had an interesting week.
Yeah, I was just saying he's the hero of the week. That was great.
And he's had two. He's had good and bad. Well, it's not really bad.
What was the bad?
It wasn't really a bad thing. It was he was doing advertisement for headphones, and this guy came in to interview him. It's like, and what do you think about the things going on in FIFA? And I was like, we don't talk about that. You know what I mean? Because he's still, well, he's not going to win it this year, but he complains about FIFA about not winning the Ballon d'Or and stuff. But footballers can't talk about what's going on there. They'd be screwed for their life. And basically your man kept asking, it's like, oh, what, you as a footballer, what do you talk about with your teammates? And they're like, hair and bags and jewellery and shit.
Earrings.
He could have been taken to piss, but it was. But
I wouldn't call that bad. He was just being political.
Yeah, the whole thing getting dressed up and
that was pretty cool. Actually, he was in the middle of the streets in Madrid, just sitting with a homeless guy with a dog tied to the bench.
He does a lot, and I know they all do a lot, and they all actually do so much that we don't hear about it.
No, Ronaldo, he's a good guy. It's just when he's acting petulant on the pitch, it's like, that's when it kind of drives me up. It's like,
in all fairness, over the last 4 years, I've seen Ronaldo
calm down.
I've seen Ronaldo be petulant Ronaldo as much as I've seen Messi grabbing his face, rolling around on the ground. It's just because of his previous history that he gets this.
No, he's still if he doesn't. I've seen him when Bale scores a goal or another player scores a goal, he stares at them wide and they get the ball. He still does that.
That only happened once with the Bale thing, and that's because Bale had already missed 2 chances, and Ronaldo was open.
By the way, can I say, this is talking about Madrid, you could see us going to Porto, not even given any sort of goodbye.
Yeah,
I thought that was really bad.
People were definitely up in arms about that.
I don't know, what goodbye do you give a player in July?
Well, he's been at the club since '96.
Yeah, no, but what are you going to throw out invitations? We're going to have a farewell. Most,
yeah,
it wasn't
get their press. You know what, Dan? If they were unveiling somebody the same week and they did have people in the Bernabeu, maybe, but nah.
Yeah, you can't do something like that,
Yeah, people are upset about this. The thing is, people usually get their big goodbyes when they retire because it's the end of the season and they're going.
Raul got a massive thing.
But he announced it.
I don't think Casillas wanted to leave though. That was the thing.
Yeah, but he was terrible.
Yeah, look, it's John made
he was kind of forced
leaving. I know he was, and that's not great and stuff. And it's not maybe the way.
So many legends have left clubs.
But football's moved on a lot.
He did leave in July. This wasn't a player's retirement. This was literally the way it goes. Sour grapes.
And even if you think it's probably started with the FFP in almost a way that back in say when English teams were the top of Europe and stuff, they were giving all these players Gerrard, Carragher, Scholes, Terry, Giggs. They're giving all these guys massive deals. I'm sure Real Madrid did it with Casillas and all the Italian clubs did it as well. I know AC Milan did it with a lot of their players. Just to here you go, lads. Here's great. And then now you can only have a certain amount of players on 150s, 130s.
Well, no, it's not that. They could have at least given him, I think, something
I think that,
he is arguably one of their best players of all time.
Yeah, he probably is, but
what do you give him in July? I think John's right. Yeah. Not that I condone anything.
Well, just well done, Iker on Twitter.
Okay,
but also it was a very bad season, and he was getting a lot of shit off the fans.
He was getting it unharshly, a lot of it.
Maybe
he wasn't at his best, but no, it's another day's work. But
okay, all right, we're wrapping it up. On social media, we have a Facebook page finally, so we're obviously hunting for a lot of likes. Dan, my Facebook isn't working at the moment. Is the URL facebook.com/ITK or is it
ITK Soccer Show?
All one word?
Yep.
Okay, so if you go to facebook.com/,
you'll see the badge.
ITK Soccer Show. Give us a like. It's the best way to keep up to date with all the recent episodes, and it also has the YouTube link for all our archives. Also, you can access SoundCloud through the Facebook page as well. So again, if you want to have the show as soon as it gets available online, the Facebook page is by far the best way to keep up to date with the ITK Soccer Show. Also, you can get us on Twitter at ITK Soccer Show, and it's back. The Fantasy Football Awards, the weekly fantasticness that is who is Rob Kearney or whatever his name is.
Jerry Kiernan.
It's going to return.
Jerry Kiernan.
Exactly. It's going to return. It's going to influence the way
Rob Kearney. Isn't a rugby player?
It's going to influence the way we all talk about the Premier League and what we want to happen, because we'll be so immersed in points and wanting to win the fantasy football. Last year's winner, funnily enough, the second that before John came to do the show today, texted me going, ITK fantasy code ? So he's in the hunt. The big dog wants to do the Barcelona. He wants to keep the championship 2 years in a row for the first time ever. The first person to have the championship 2 times in a row. The code is 1143-596-276917. If you go onto our Facebook page, we will have the code clearly in the biography section or the about section of our Facebook page, so you can get it anytime you need it. But the code again is 1143-596-276917. Anything else before we go?
It's going to be Liverpool's year.
Oh, fuck off. Dan, anything else?
Chelina will sack 2 managers this year.
Okay, that was a lead thing, so we can edit that out. We'll be back. Are we going to do post Monday Night Football? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Monday or Tuesday.
But can we do post Monday Night? Like, we'll watch the match and do it. I was thinking.
Yes.
Okay, we will be back on Tuesday morning with our full recap of the first week of action in the Premier League. And until then, please share the show, like the page, and join the fantasy football. Until then, we'll talk to you soon.